From the mountaintops to the ocean floor, I'm gonna spread my wings, so just watch me soar.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Farah and welcome to this episode of Inspire Her TV. If you're someone that's struggling to make your mark outside of your comfort zone, or you want to do something that doesn't quite fit into the stereotype, then this is the episode for you. Today we have with us a young woman who is the definition of hard work and consistency. Her day job as an architect means she spends most of her days on sites dominated by men. Her free time as a junior politician in Somali politics means that she's also in another area that's dominated by men. On top of all of that, she also co-owns her own fashion line. Please help me welcome to the conversation Hibaq Abyan. Thank you so much for being here. So good to have you.
No, thank you for having me.
You're more than welcome. Okay, so from that small intro into your career and roles, we can see that you're not, the typical person that kind of fits into construction or politics.
Yeah.
What was important to you about these non-typical roles?
I think the most important thing was definitely to break barriers and also pave the way for other Somali women and young Somali women to be able to be in a situation where you don't have anything stopping you or capping you off from what you can achieve.
Yes.
Being in construction, for example, being the only young Muslim black female is difficult. But also, on the other hand, I know that the next time that they do see someone like me, it would be a lot easier for them to understand and also respect me as a person.
That difference.
And the role that I'm doing.
And also, I think that, would you say, for the girls as well themselves, that's another option that they can think, oh, construction's open to me as well. Yeah. I know a girl that looks like me. I do.
And growing up, I didn't really have, when I was deciding what to do at university and go into the construction industry, I didn't see anyone that I could relate to say, you know what, that person is a role model in that industry that I can look at.
Yes.
But hopefully, inshallah, I will be somewhat of a role model, not necessarily all aspects of me as Hibaq, but certain bits of, especially what I'm doing, can relate to some of the young Somali women.
Makes perfect sense. What would you say has been the most challenging aspect of your working environment, whether it's to do with the politics or to do with the construction?
I think people judging a book by its cover. So in the construction industry, for example, they would go to everybody else in the office.
Yes.
But I'd be the last person that they come to, just because they assume not only as a woman that I'm probably the secretary on the side, but I'm not someone that could actually give them information that they could take away.
Yes.
So I think that the gaining of respect is probably the hardest thing. But I do think that when you do gain it, it even means so much more to you as a person because you worked hard for it.
Oh, makes perfect sense. Yeah. No, definitely. I can kind of see why. Because it's not even just your gender, it's the age, the gender, everything combined. Hijab, it's like everything combined.
I remember the first time that I went on the construction side, people have this perception of Somali people and like being in the social housing, for example. So I remember the first time I walked on site, one of the guys was like to me, oh, we're not doing viewings for the social housing. And
no way!
Yeah, so you know what? Things like that only make me want to work harder, push harder, do better, because they're the things that we as Somalis and as Muslims and as women have to change so that people don't, next time they see a Somali girl walking on the construction site, think it's someone that's coming to view the property, an actual architect and someone that is their boss. Basically.
That's amazing, it's so true.
Yeah.
You also have a fashion line with your brother. Tell us about that.
So it's called Haroga, so it's haroga.com. Most people think it was my idea, but in actual fact it was my brother's idea. Me and him are quite close and I've always wanted to set up a business. You always come to me and you always talk about Daras and the fact that you don't. Actually, I should start by saying what the company is, maybe.
Yes, please tell us.
So the company is a Somali Dirat online shop. So we ship all around the world. We ship Kuntima's traditional Somali clothes. We also do Aras people with bridal dirats. So it's kind of like the traditional green, red, bright colours with a lot of embroidery on them. They're handmade. So we do that online and we ship it to people's doorsteps. And one of the things was the reason why we came up with that idea. Was I always go to Somali shops and I always end up coming home with a dirat I don't necessarily like. I feel like it's the pressure. I feel like it's my mum combined with the women in the shop that kind of get you. And you come home and then you come home and you're like, I don't really even like this one. And he's like, you always complain, so why do you buy it? And I'm like, you don't understand the pressure. So then he was just like, is there any? So we started doing research online. There are some people that are selling dirats, but it's not at that level in terms of like the way that the other ethnic minorities have online stores in terms of the Asian market or even the Arab market. So we thought, why not have something that relates to young females that are diaspora around the world that want to buy a dirat but necessarily don't want to buy one that they're forced into buying. You'll see a lot of our photos are we're trying to like make dirats fashionable again. I feel like understanding the concept that it's not only a wedding that you have to wear a guntima for. You can wear a guntima to, I don't know, your graduation, for example, or you can wear it if you're going out to see your friends on a Saturday night and it's a cultural event. Why not?
So with so much on your plate, what keeps you motivated?
I think the main thing that keeps me motivated is always finding something else, a goal. Like I constantly think that if you like say, you know what, I've got to where I wanted to get to, and you've got to become quite reluctant and you're like, you know what, I'm happy here, then nothing will ever move. So I'm constantly trying to find new ideas, new things, like the politics thing. So
tell us more about that.
So I'm a young, I'm the youth chairperson for Wadani, which is a Somaliland Political Party, which are the opposition party at the moment. There's elections coming in November, and to be honest, out of all the things I've done, and even in the construction industry and everything, probably that has been the hardest.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
What was the hard thing about it?
The fact that I don't speak the language properly. That I'm not the norm candidate for a position
you're
like
not
that.
Male, you're not a middle-aged man.
No, I'm not a middle-aged man, and also the way I think is quite based from my upbringing in this country. So a lot of the way I'm quite theoretical. A lot of my stuff is written, where a lot of the stuff that in terms of the politics that goes on is kind of a lot of stuff I don't agree with. But instead of sitting back and saying, you know what, I don't agree with that, I'm trying to and with the youth, because I've got a youth board in the UK, we're trying to change the mindset of how the politics is done, but not doing it so strongly that people get scared and push away from it, but slowly. But I always believe that instead of telling someone that they've done something bad and wrong, show them the right way. And then say to them, look, this way is better, more financially, this way maybe better, like for your time. So kind of showing them the better way to do it, and then bringing them on board rather than just telling them that the way that they're doing it is wrong. I plan to move back home anyway in the future, so to be honest...
That was my next question.
Okay.
So what's your vision for the next 3 to 5 years for yourself, with all of this?
Yeah, I've always planned to move back to the motherland. I lived in Hargeisa in 2010 for a year, and I worked for a construction company there.
Right.
Yeah, and...
Sounds like there's a lot of experiences there.
Do you know what? Yeah, it was an experience, a big experience, and it's one of the things that has paved the way for everything I'm doing today. Working there, working for a construction company, understanding the lack of health and safety, building regulations within the country is what drives me today in terms of my career. So when I did architecture, I moved out of architecture and I moved more into construction based on that factor. I feel like there's so many people building stuff back home, but there's no structure to it. There's no governance in terms of someone managing the system itself and how it's done and the health and safety. So doing that, and then I worked for the government for 6 months in Hargeisa, and I realised that you can't change anything until you're sitting at the table that the decisions are made on. 100%. So doing that, it kind of came back to London, and I've been gaining experience in terms of construction, but I also, in the back of my head, have always understood that for me to go back, I need to be at a stage where people will listen to you. You don't want people just to go there and be like, oh, this is another diaspora person telling us, trying to do it for their own goal. going back to the question about moving back home, I've always had the plan of going back. So inshallah, I hope that in the next 3 to 5 years, probably see myself hopefully working in the government and trying to
actually settle there.
Yeah. So I want to go back to the Ministry of Public Works and Housing, which is the ministry I worked at, and I want to start from the bottom and try putting in things that will help leave a legacy in terms of leave something for the people to say that this is something that can help the system work and move the system forward, and then be able to go back. And one of the things I always say is, you kind of have to have goals, right? So I say that I really would like to be the first young female minister in Somaliland. But the thing is, most people find it difficult to hear someone have ambitions like that because it's not the norm.
I so agree with you, because with aspirations, by having a massive goal, or like I said, a goal that's not necessarily, seen every day, or that's not normal, that's fine. If you make it, it's incredible. Even if you don't make it, you get so close and you do so much better than you ever would have. So you have to have these big goals, and and people, I think we're so fearful all the time that we just want to project it onto other people. So when you say things like that, it makes people that are not doing anything feel really uncomfortable. What makes you then rise above that and not kind of get it into your head and not allow their words to kind of create a fear or something like that in you?
I don't, because I always think to myself, you're always going to get negativity from everything that you do. So, like, the negativity, I think, is what fuels me, to be honest. So I'm like the type of person, if someone says to me, Hibaq, you cannot do this, it will make me want to do it even more. So I think by the roles and the things that I've taken up in my life and my career has been down to that factor.
You're one of the few people, I think, that's invited to the Youth African Summit in Morocco this year. Tell us a bit more about that and like the procedure of how you got involved with it.
So it's the African Youth Leadership Summit. It's in Morocco, Marrakesh in October. It's going to be 300 delegates around from in and around Africa. For me, the reason why I wanted to go is because I feel like there's a lot of the same thing and the same issues in Africa. So I think what better way to go somewhere that you could get so much information that could help your people. You say, you know what, we're going to do everything ourselves and we're on the right path. Then I feel like it's going to take us longer to get where we need to get to pushing our youth forward.
Entirely agree with you. Who inspires you?
I have a few people that do inspire me. One of the people that probably inspire me quite a lot is Edna Allen. I don't know if you know much about her.
With her.
She's someone that never lets people put a cap on her goals. Inshallah, to be at that age and still pushing for more. Because the more she carries on, it makes me want to carry on. I'm like, do not stop for the males. Like, it does not matter who you are. It's like, she demands respect because of what she's done. And I feel like if you can be in a position in your life to do that, then you've achieved something.
I'm going to ask you some quick questions to get to know you.
Okay.
Describe yourself in 3 words.
Strong, passionate, and individual. Is that?
Yeah. An individual. Worst movie ever seen?
I'm not really a movie person, but
don't worry, it's a quick fire anyway, so we'll move on. Biggest fear?
Biggest fear is probably, I hate, I don't know, just being late to something that's really, really important. I can't, it gives me anxiety as I'm trying to get there. So I'm like, that's probably my worst.
It's being late for something.
I'm not scared of heights, I'm not none of that type of stuff. It's being late to something important, and I always think that I'm going to be at some point.
Your favourite sibling?
Oh, that is a hard one, because I've got 8 brothers and sisters.
Well, you've got plenty to choose from.
Yeah, I know, that makes
just one.
Don't guys, sorry, I apologise. I'm going to tell my brother because we have a business together.
Okay, so nice. Let's get out claw there. Thank you.
No, thank you very much for inviting me.
That was the end of another episode of Inspirehead TV. In the comments below, share with us what your biggest takeaway was from today's show. Until next time, stay inspired.